You're looking for something you can actually count on when the grid drops, when you're out in the woods, or when a sudden power outage leaves you scrambling for a way to keep the lights on. You don't want a gadget that looks impressive on paper but ends up gathering dust because it's a pain to charge, too bulky to move, or simply can't handle the stuff you actually need it for. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. That's the mindset I had when I started digging into portable power stations, and it's the same lens I'm using to talk about the PowerMax 1800 SE from EcoVolt store. The first hesitation most people have is the what-if factor. What if you spend a good chunk of money on a unit that can't keep your phone alive for a night, can't power a small fridge during a storm, or is so heavy you never actually use it? I've seen a lot of buyers jump on the first thing that says 1800 WH without looking at how that translates into real-world run time, how long it takes to refill, and whether the outlets match the devices they own. The risk isn't just a wasted purchase, it's the feeling that you're unprepared when the moment of need arrives. That's why I spent a few days reading product pages, watching unboxings, and scrolling through the few buyer comments that actually talk about daily usage, not just the headline specs. Portable power stations sit in a sweet spot between a giant car battery and a tiny power bank. They're meant to be moved, but not so light that you can toss them in a backpack without a second thought. They're meant to run a few devices for a few hours, not replace your whole home's wiring. The category has exploded because people want backup power that isn't tied to a fuel generator, and the eco-friendly angle of solar recharging has made these units especially appealing for campers, RV owners, and anyone who spends time off the grid. So where does the PowerMax 1800 SE land in that landscape? First off, the capacity is roughly 1800 watt-hours, which puts it in the upper tier of portable stations. In practical terms, that means you could keep a small 45-watt fridge running for about 8 hours, or you could charge a smartphone roughly 50 times, a laptop 810 times, and still have enough juice left for a string of LED lights and a portable CPAP machine. Those are the kinds of numbers that matter when you're trying to decide whether a unit can actually get you through a 12-hour blackout or a weekend campsite without a plug. One of the biggest strengths of the PowerMax is its versatility in how you can recharge it. It accepts AC wall power, a standard 12-volt car outlet, and, most importantly for the eco-conscious, a compatible solar panel. The built-in MPPT controller, the tech that squeezes the most out of a solar panel, means that a 200-watt panel can refill the battery in roughly 8 to 10 hours of good sun. That's not lightning fast, but it's realistic. You'll still be able to run a few devices while the sun does the work. If you're used to plugging a generator into a fuel line and listening to it whine, the silent, zero-emission recharging process feels like a big upgrade. On the downside, the power station isn't exactly featherlight. At around 4,550 pounds, it's something you'll need a cart or a sturdy strap to move around. For a weekend camper who already lugging a tent and a cooler, that extra weight can feel like a compromise. The price point is also higher than the entry-level models you'll see for under $300. You're paying for the capacity and the solar-ready features, but if you only need to charge phones and a tablet, you'll be over-investing. Who should consider buying the PowerMax 1800 SE? If you're a family that lives in an area prone to storms, and you want a reliable backup that can keep the refrigerator, a few lights, and essential medical equipment alive until the utility comes back, this is a solid fit. RVers who like to boondock off-grid will appreciate the ability to run a small fridge, a fan, and a TV without hunting for a campsite with hookups. Remote workers who sometimes have to set up a field office in a park will find the AC outlet handy for a laptop and a small monitor, and the USB-C port can keep a phone and a portable router powered simultaneously. If you fall into the just need a phone charger camp, or if you're on a tight budget and can't justify the extra weight, you'll probably want to look at a smaller power bank or a lower capacity portable station. Likewise, if you regularly run high-draw appliances like a power tool compressor or an electric heater, the continuous AC output of the PowerMax, which tops out at around 1500 watts, may be limiting. You'd have to run those devices intermittently, which isn't ideal for a workshop scenario. Let's walk through a couple of real-world scenarios.